I'm back with my fellow fan collector friend Samus Arnold, and he's been wanting to come to this shop for a longest time where I do all my videos. So he's going to be at the test rig, and he's probably going to test and try out my Envirofan Goldline, my first generation Union made new in-box Goldline that I got last week or a couple weeks ago from Tommy.
Yep.
So, yeah. So he loves these things just as much as I do.
Yeah.
These are childhood to me and to him, and there's a Goodwill where he lives that's got these all over the store.
There's one newer one and 5 of these.
Yeah, they replaced one with a modern Goldline, a new Goldline.
I think the old one was locked up or something.
Probably something like that. So, what we're going to do now, I'm going to plug this in. And what we're going to do is the same thing. We're going to test 0 to high.
Alright.
0.99 is what the inrush was. So,
You can feel the air on this thing.
oh yeah. It's still speeding up. Yeah, this is its fullest power because now, as you know, like industrials or even that spinner there, when you see no pull chain or switch housing on them, they run single speed. So if you hook these up to a light switch, this is what you get out of it, high or off. You know, because it's like a light, you know, hooked up to a on-off light switch, full power or off. So you need a regulated control to do speeds with it. So one thing I know is from this decade box, you're gonna still do them, but I know what I use on this fan is an 8, 12, 20. That's the best speed range I get, is the 8 microfarads, 12, and then 20 and high for a 4-speed, and it's perfect speeds. So, well, check this out. We're gonna go right here. This is where I do my airflow tests.
Okay.
Down here. And I'm feeling that air.
Yeah, I can feel some air too.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. That's the Goldline category I'm talking about.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's a lot of air. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's like almost like box fan air.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but this is its fullest, and so what's it drawing? 0.93, so we're right in that ballpark of what it says it would draw current-wise. And there again, I can do how many watts? 107 watts. And power factor of 1. So all of the current that it's drawing is using it versus percentage of, like, say, 0.5 power factor. It's only using half of that and sending the other half back into the circuit. So you're only getting billed for what you're using. But this one, it's more effective when you know that you're using everything. More adequate. And I know we enjoy, this is, sometimes I love running this on high in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Which I have. I have a higher ceiling in my bedroom. A little higher than this.
Good July or August.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, do you want to do spin down with this?
Yes.
So that we can do the decade box? Okay. Yeah, this one I know is going to have a long spin down.
Yeah.
I know Tommy thought maybe just because the bearings were slightly stiff from being new.
Yeah.
He had to work it in for me. What he did was he ran it a little bit before taking it to me, just so that it would break in the bearings and get them loose.
Yeah.
And working. But God, yeah, the grocery store I talk about that had these was, it had like a half circular roof starting from one end, going arching up, and then coming back down to the other. Now there's a store similar to that in North Chicago by Skokie called Lincolnwood. Used to be called Lincolnwood Produce.
Okay.
Was Kohl's before then, and now it's a liquor store, a big liquor emporium. You know, beer, liquor, wines, and so it's exactly that type of store now. When I looked into the store when it was, you know, closed and empty, they had Contex, white Contex. But now that the liquor store moved in and remodeled it, they have black Goldlines. And the install is quite like what I remembered these being at the Kohl's that I used to eye them out at. Yeah, you know, when I was a kid. This was actually there was a mall. There was a shopping area in Milwaukee, North Milwaukee, called Northridge Mall. And the Kohl's is right across the street from it. And the mall's closed completely.
Alright, it looks like it
The
stopped
fans are just
spinning.
hanging in there?
No, they've been remodeled. That store now is a thrift store, and it used to be something else that put a drop ceiling in. So what we're going to do next is going to do the decade box again. So I want to start it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going on 5. So it will start on 5. But this thing's also kind of a pig, too.
Yeah. I like
when it comes to modern fan control. So that's why I'm telling you it needs an 8-12-20. So what we're going to do, you're going to go see what it's drawing 0.22. So you're getting an aesthetic low out of it right now. Meaning where this is too ineffective to do anything.
Yeah, it's not going to move in the air.
No. And 6. And 7. And then what you're going to do is go to 8 and leave it for a little bit.
Okay.
Because you're going to see why. You're going to let it speed up. It actually gives off the perfect low speed. Right here. It's starting to speed up a little bit and oftentimes this would be the speed that I'd see these at in the store, and there were many stores that had these. Churches that had these too. Oh yeah, see, this is the perfect low speed right here. It's functional low, I call it.
Yep.
Where it's slow enough to be a low speed, and it actually does a little bit of what you want it to do on low. And oftentimes this is perfect when they're way high up and they bring the heat down. That's the purpose of it, because the heat floats up. So then that's the reason with the curved blades, is it actually spans the air out and really pushes the heat down without cooling the air.
That'd be cool for like winter time.
That's the whole purpose of them in wintertime, especially on high ceilings, is to push the air down from way high up. In fact, my opinion is when you have a higher than 8-foot ceiling like I do at home or here, reverse is pointless because the air's already way up there. You want to bring it down.
Right.
So reverse is more for like an 8-foot ceiling where you're trying to stir the heated air around without creating a cool breeze.
Okay.
Keep it on low, but keep it like an indirect airflow movement that it kind of goes to the ceiling and then bounces off the ceiling and comes down the sides of the room real slowly to like circulate the heated air. That's the purpose of reverse. Okay, so it's still on 8. So I want to go up now to 9. 10. Okay. And what we're going to do is go back to 2.
Okay.
Go back to 2, and I'm going to hit 10. So you're going to see a medium low as like in an 8, 12, 20. So 12 is your medium low. So this is also a very common speed I'd see these at, because they would use a faster than low, but not quite medium. when they want to start to move a little bit more air.
This is probably my favorite speed.
Oh yeah.
The most.
Yeah, like the Goodwill kind of uses this speed a lot on theirs.
Yeah.
Maybe I actually remember seeing them a little
Best
fast.
Buy had 'em too, didn't
No.
No Best Buys had fans at all.
they? Oh,
Okay.
where were we when we seen it? Oh, Walmart.
No.
Walmarts, I know, did not. Or at least no super Walmarts have fans.
Yeah, only the Goodwill is the only place I know of that has them.
Yep, and then let's go to 13. So you got 10 plus 2, 12, 13.
Oh, okay.
Go up to 13. So like the control in my living room that does my Panama would not be good for this fan because you'd get like all low speeds and a big jump to high.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to 14.
Okay.
14 and then 15. If you want really good air movement, that would have been good to be here during my Palisade Goldline.
Oh yeah, that thing you made, yeah.
Yeah,
That thing's cool.
it's basically, there's 3 of these stripped, meaning paint stripped to bare metal, and then I clear coated them. And we're at 15, so if you were to have like an 8 and a 15, it'd be like that's a perfect 3-speed for this fan. You'd have 8 and then this for medium, and then 16. And then let's keep going up. Keep going up. 17. And then go to 18. And then let's just go to 20. Just go to 20. Okay, to show you kind of what I'm talking about. You've seen what it does on 8 and what it does on 12. Now we're at 20. And this is like the backed off high. So if you went from like, see what kind of air you get from this thing here at this point in time. This is high medium, I call it. And it's another perfect speed when you don't want it to be fully blasting air, but you want good air movement.
Yeah.
In fact, the 2 gold lines at Dan's garage shop in Oregon, the
Yeah.
one where we used to do our videos at, the garage part had 2 of these Union ones that were a little older than this one, and this was as fast as they went. That's just the way they were designed.
Yeah.
They only went this fast. And then my orange line back there on the shelf also only goes this fast.
Where's the orange one?
It's-
actually?
You see it on the lower shelf here? The red fan right here, this red,
Oh, there we go.
yeah, the orange line.
Oh man.
It's got a Pelco style motor, kind of like this one.
Yeah.
It's got the Pelco-ish motor.
Yeah, I believe my
But that
little
one-
bowling alley has some.
Yeah, that one only goes as fast as this one. Okay, so if I were to hit high from 20, see the big difference there. So one of the things I did was I maxed this whole thing out. Like, I just maxed it out. So 10, 20, that's 30, and then another 10, 40. And I'm still under 0.9. Make at 0.82 amps. So it's still under. So I got a ways to go. So no resonant frequency on this one. So any wall control is really safe. It's just those lower value ones
Yeah.
could stall it out on low.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. What you don't want is have a control that sends electricity to it without it moving.
Yeah.
That's bad for the motor because it's just heating up the coils.
Yeah.
So, okay. Since I'm going to stop it so you can do the solid state on this one, so we can show you how these things really are usually run. Yep. So I'm going to flip it to the solid state.
Okay.
And there again, you're going to start inching it back. I'll just keep going until it starts. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. It's here. And this one, slightly more hum, but still not bad.
Yeah, I'd say it's living room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is very typical. A lot of gold lines are still going to hum on solid states on the variable. Yeah, that variable speed he's doing is what these things are typically run on. Now, they're really good for when you have multiple fans like throughout like the store, and oftentimes they're on that one control to do all of them. Or maybe a section of fans, like a row of them. Each row has like a control, maybe 2 or 3 of those controls to do like several fans in a row at once.
Oh, okay.
So I want to go up. Yeah, they have a higher current rating on those solid state controls.
Oh.
And the higher the amp rating goes, the more fans you can control with them. Yeah, so this one, once you start getting at this speed, the wind noise outdoes the hum.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, do you want to go up? So this is like your medium high again. That's why when I use like an 8-12-20 control, it's perfect because I get the speed range that variable speed would have, but let's say low and low medium, they're completely quiet. Okay, I want to bring it up even more. Just could probably go. We're pretty much getting close to high there. You probably could bring it to high. Just bring it all the way up to where it stops. You notice that it also, the hums goes away once you bring it all the way up.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah. And the current draw is the same as straight high. So these are really good on solid states, though, by and large. The only fans that I was told you're not to do solid state with, for whatever reason, they have an extra buzz or hum, is like 16 pole motors.
Yeah.
Such as the Dayton Lasco. So this is, there we're back at high again. So what I usually do is, I showed you clicking off, and what I usually do when I turn it back off is I just go all the way back down. When you turn it all the way back down to low, there's like almost nothing.
Yeah.
So there's actually a fine screw adjustment similar to this dial here.
Yeah.
That you need an eyeglass screwdriver to adjust. It's called the low trim. That way, some certain fans react differently, where if you turn it all the way down and it's still too fast, then you turn the low trim down so that you get a nice low speed and make sure that it's not going to stall out all the way down. Some places don't set it right, and if you turn it all the way down, it stalls out or gives no power, so you have to like find where it starts the fan.
I think that'd be a nice low speed right there, like how it's spinning right now.
Well, actually, that was about 5 right there, and that's...
Yeah.
I actually think that's a little more aesthetic.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I remember when Dan put in 2 new gold lines in a laundromat. He replaced 2 Airmasters. One was a Relight, and the other was Crompton Greaves. And he put 2 new gold lines in full size. And the lady there asked him when he had them on low, like, is that even going to be effective? And he explained, well, this is when you want to move heat down or circulate the heated air without creating a breeze that could cool the air. So, all right. Well, we've done every test on this fan, industrials that doesn't require a lot, for one.
Yeah.
0 to high is the same as factory speed, single speed, as you know. you did the decade box to simulate a capacitor-based control, such as those wall controls. Basically one of these guys.
Yeah.
This is an 81220. So basically you're simulating with that decade box this type of control. All right. So I think that's all we have. We did the solid state to see what it does on a variable. So that's all I have for this this fan with my good friend Samus Arnold, and we'll be testing more fans, so stay tuned.